Ever wonder what if every time you fell asleep, you woke up in the body of the last person you thought about? Here's exactly how that first night would go. It's a normal Tuesday. You're brushing your teeth, totally clueless, and tonight the rules of reality quietly change, and your brain is about to become the most dangerous thing you own. You flop into bed and scroll your phone one last time, and a photo of your best friend pops up. You smile, you think about them, and you drift off. Big mistake? Maybe. Your eyes close, the world goes dark and soft, and then a jolt. You wake up, but the ceiling is wrong, the blanket is wrong, and everything is completely, totally wrong. You look down at your hands, and they're not your hands. You stumble to the mirror and scream, because staring back at you is your best friend's face. You are your best friend now. Panic mode, you check the phone on the nightstand, and it unlocks with their face, their texts, their photos, their whole life. You're holding all of it. This is real, this is happening. But wait, where is your body? Back home, your real body is still there, sleeping peacefully, breathing alive. It just waits, empty, like a car with the driver stepped out. Here's the catch nobody warned you about. Your friend's mind isn't gone. It's asleep in the back, dreaming while you drive their body. You're a guest who grabbed the wheel. So now you have to live their entire day, their job, their meetings, and their password to the work computer that you absolutely do not know. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. People walk up and call you by your friend's name, and they ask about things you've never heard of. You just nod, smile, and pray. Nobody notices you're basically a stranger wearing a costume. Then it hits you like a truck. Tonight you have to sleep again. And whoever you think about last, that's who you become next. You control your own destiny, sort of. This is the whole game. The last thought before sleep is the steering wheel. Think of the right person and wake up as them. Think of the wrong one, and good luck tomorrow. But here's the problem. Have you ever tried to control your last thought before sleep? It's like trying not to think of a pink elephant, because your brain does whatever it wants. You try to picture someone rich, but your brain slips and thinks about the grumpy neighbor who yelled at you last week. You panic, but it's too late. Your eyes are already closing. Morning, and you wake up as the grumpy neighbor with bad knees, a fridge full of pickles, and a to-do list of yard work. Turns out steering your brain is really, really hard. But you're a fast learner, so that night you practice. You stare at one photo, you repeat one name, and you build a bedtime ritual, laser-focused, blocking out every other face. Focus is everything. It works, and you start landing on purpose. And that's when the real temptation creeps in, because if you can become anyone, why not become someone rich, famous, and living the dream? So before bed, you watch a video of a billionaire. You memorize their face, you think about them hard, and you drift off with dollar signs dancing in your head. You wake up in a bed the size of your old apartment with silk sheets, a butler, and a window showing the ocean. You did it, and for one day you're worth billions. You eat the fanciest breakfast of your life. You ride in a car worth more than a house. You sign things you don't understand, and everyone treats you like a king. But there's a catch. You can't touch the money in a way that lasts, because tomorrow you leave this body, and the billionaire wakes up wondering why they bought a bounce house. Whatever you do sticks to them, not you. Every choice, every embarrassing text, and every weird purchase becomes their problem. The second you jump out, you're a hit-and-run tourist in people's lives. So, being rich for a day is fun but useless, because the money never comes home with you. That's when the idea shifts. What if you use this power for something that actually matters? You start thinking about people you love, like your mom, who lives far away. What if, for one day, you became her and finally understood everything she carries every single day? You think of her that night, and you wake up as your mom, and instantly you feel it. The tired shoulders, the worry, and the quiet love she never once complains about. It's overwhelming. You see yourself through her eyes. There's a photo of you on her fridge, a little crooked, clearly her favorite. You realize how much you're loved you didn't know, and now you do. This power isn't just a joyride anymore. It's a doorway into other people's hearts. You can finally understand anyone, the ones you love, and even the ones you can't stand. So, you get bold, and you think about your worst enemy, the person who made your life miserable. You wake up as them, expecting a monster, and instead you find something you never expected. Your enemy is scared, lonely, and carrying stuff way heavier than yours. The meanness was just armor. And living one day inside them, you finally get it, and you can't stay angry anymore. You start to see the pattern. Everyone, the rich, the mean, and the strangers on the street, is fighting a battle you can't see from the outside. This power makes it impossible to hate. But then the fun stuff calls again, and you wonder, what if you became your favorite athlete right before the big game? Imagine feeling what it's like to be that strong, that fast. You wake up in the athlete's body, muscles like steel, ready to be a legend. Then you realize you don't have their skill. Their body knows the moves, but your brain does not. You fumble the ball in front of thousands of fans, and their whole career, one bad game, all because you borrowed their body. Some things you just can't fake, because skill lives in practice, not muscles. Okay, no more messing with people's careers. But now a scarier question sneaks up on you. You've been gone for days. So what's happening to your own body back home this whole time? You decide to find out that night. You think about yourself, your own face, your own name. You picture going home, and you fall asleep hoping to finally wake up as you again. You wake up back in your own bed, home finally. But something is off. Your body feels stiff, your stomach growls like a monster, and there's a stack of worried texts from everyone. Turns out while you were body hopping, your real body was basically asleep, running on autopilot, barely eating, come home too rarely, and there might not be a home to come back to. Now, the fear is real. This isn't a game. If you forget to think about yourself, if you go too long, you could lose the one body that's actually, truly yours. Forever. So you make a rule, no matter who you become, every few nights you must come home. You set an alarm in your head, think of yourself, return, refuel, repeat, survival first. But here's the twist that keeps you up at night. What if one evening, you're so tired, so distracted, that you forget the rule, and you don't think of anyone at all? One night it finally happens, you're wiped out, your mind goes blank, no face, no name, nothing. You fall asleep into total emptiness, and you wake up somewhere you can't explain. No body, no mirror, just you, floating in a gray, nothing. This is the in-between, the waiting room for a mind with nowhere to land, and you have no idea how to leave. You try to think of a face, any face, to escape, but panic makes your mind blank, and the harder you push, the emptier it gets. This is the trap you never saw coming. Then slowly you calm down, you stop forcing it, you breathe, and one gentle memory floats up. Your mom's crooked photo on the fridge. Love, it turns out, is the easiest thing to remember. That single warm thought becomes a rope, and it pulls you out of the emptiness. You wake up back in a real body, gasping, so grateful you could cry. The void almost kept you. Now you understand the true rule. It's not about becoming the richest or most famous person. It's about always having someone you love to think about, someone to bring you home. So you change how you live. You stop chasing billionaires and athletes, and instead you visit the people who matter one night at a time just to understand them a little better. You become your quiet grandpa and hear his old stories from the inside. You become a lonely classmate and feel how much a simple hello would mean. You collect empathy like treasure. Everybody teaches you something. You learn that everyone's life is heavier and more beautiful than it looks from outside, and you'll never judge a stranger the same way again. Ever. But there's a cost you didn't expect. The more lives you live, the more your own starts to feel small. You come home and your quiet room feels almost too plain, too still. You realize you've been so busy being everyone else that you forgot how to just be yourself. The power that let you escape your life made you a stranger to it. That's the real price. So you make the bravest choice of all. You decide to stay, to think of yourself night after night, and actually live your own ordinary, messy, wonderful life. On purpose this time. And weirdly, your own life gets better because now you know how everyone feels. You're kinder, you listen more, and you call your mom just to talk. The power changed you, not your address. But every once in a while, on a hard night, you still use it carefully. You visit a friend who's struggling just to understand so you can help them the next morning as yourself. The power that started as a nightmare became the greatest gift. Not because you could escape your life, but because it taught you every single person is worth understanding, including you. So let's rewind to that first scary night when the ceiling was wrong and you screamed at a stranger's face. That terrifying curse turned out to be a crash course in being human. Here's the part that'll stick with you. This power is basically real. Every night you already think of someone before you sleep, you just don't wake up as them yet. So think about it. If this were real, and tonight was the first night, who would you wake up as tomorrow? Be honest. Who was the last person on your mind before bed? Maybe it's someone you love, maybe it's someone you argued with, or maybe it's a total stranger. Whoever it is says a lot about you, and tonight they'd become your whole world. Drop their name in the comments, because that's who you'd wake up as tomorrow. Then hit subscribe, because next time, you might not want to fall asleep at all. Sweet dreams.
If you want more wild what ifs, hit subscribe and come check out the channel.